Faster than that. Oh, hey, gang, it's Kevin Strange from Strangeville back up in this bitch-ass piece, and we got some exciting shit going on today. We're playing that Strangeville Smoke Weed, the card game. This is an introduction. This is a what is it? A promo video? No, this is a tutorial video for how to play Strangeville Smoke Weed, the motherfucking card game. How about that, gang? It's here. It's exciting. The prototype of the game exists. This is a weed card from Strangeville Smoke Weed, the card game. This is a real card. This is not CGI. This is an actual, honest-to-God, motherfucking card game. We did it. We turned Strangeville into a card game up in this piece, and today we're going to show you how to play. Let me introduce you to the players. Of course, we have Webmaster Miko recording the whole enterprise. He's here, of course. Say hello, Miko. Thank you. We have Joel here, one of our expert playtesters. You can show him on camera. Webmaster Miko. This is Joel. Joel, how long have you been playing Strangeville Smoke Weed? The answer is you haven't, because it fucking hasn't even come out yet. This is a prototype deck. You've only playtested it, but you've been playtesting it for about, what, 7.5 years?
Yeah, exactly. Half of my lifetime.
Half of his life has been spent playing Strangeville Smoke Weed, which couldn't possibly be true because I only made up this game a couple of months ago. But Joel has been kind enough to playtest this game with me to make sure that it's exciting and it plays well. And so he's here today to play an example game with Hack Movies alumnus Nicholas the Dungeon Master himself, Andrew, 20-sided Varble.
That's right. I've only been playing 2 weeks, so a little disadvantage, but I'm in the fucking game. So
he is in the game. He has a character in the game, which might play to your advantage. That might play to his advantage. What if he wins the game with himself, gang? It would blow up the entire universe. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to play Strangeville Smoke Weed today. This is a tutorial video. I'm going to lay this motherfucker out, teach you how to play it. Once you guys own the game, once you guys have the game in your little mitt pieces, in your little hands, your little 5 digits, get to fuck up my cards with your fucking dirty ass fingerprints, ruin this beautiful fucking art that I spent months painstakingly designing. No, I'm just kidding. Once you have the game, you'll be able to watch tutorial videos like this to really get the rules down. It's going to come with a rule book. It's going to teach you how to play, but this tutorial video might give you a better understanding or whatever the fuck. It's fun to watch, so we're just going to watch them play. I'm going to jump in from time to time with my little commentary, but we're basically going to let Joel and Andrew duke it out, play a game of Strangeville Smoke Weed, and we're going to watch them. But before we get into that, gang, I'm going to show you the basics, okay? So the basics of Strangeville Smoke Weed. We have 3 card types. There's 3 types of cards. You got your weed cards, you got your character cards, and you got your action cards. And they are, they say action, weed, and character on them, but they're also denoted with their borders, the border types. We have the black border for the characters, the white border for the actions, and the green border for the weed cards. So follow me down here, gang. Follow me down here. Basically, how these cards work. The weed cards, they are the currency of Strangeville Smoke Weed. So this card here represents one weed, and these up here on the action cards and the character cards, we have a. Let me get this so y'all can see it. Get it all. Webmaster Miko, get it in focus. Focus it up. Do your job. All right. Can we see that? Mm-hmm. Can we see that? This area down here denotes the amount of weed that is required to cast an action card or conjure a character card, and both of these have 4s on them. So it would require 4 of these weed cards in order to bring a character into play or to cast an action card. All of the actions and characters have abilities that we'll see played throughout the game. So as we set everything up, I'll do a little commentary over it, and we'll let these cats get to playing. So the first thing you need to know about Strangeville Smoke Weed, do you need to change the focus again, Webmaster Miko?
Got it.
That one goes in there too. The first thing you need to know about Strangeville Smoke Weed is both players start with 5 of the +1 weed cards. And it doesn't matter which ones, the art doesn't matter. Both players start with 5 of the weed cards in play each. So we're going to do 5 for Joel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those remain in play down here in front of the player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These act as your currency. These act as your life as well. So in other words, each player starts the game with 5 life and 5 weed that they can use to conjure characters and play actions. Now, the guys are going to roll to see who goes first. Gentlemen, good luck. What do they say in that movie, the Mockingbird? What? The Mockingjay? What is it called?
May the odds never be
The
in
favor.
Yeah. The what is it? The Hunger Games? Is that copyrighted? Am I in trouble? Joel rolls a 5. We're rolling to see who goes first, gang. Here we go. What does Andrew get? Andrew gets a 6. Andrew has 2 advantages. Andrew is going first, and he's in the game. He also masturbated with me in a scene in Colonel Kill Motherfuckers. Tell us about that scene, Andrew. What was your motivation for that scene?
To make as many animal noises as I possibly could.
Literally as many? That was
many.
the goal?
I was trying to cycle through.
Was it a mathematical computation?
It really was. At the same time as I was trying to actually pretend to masturbate.
Yes. Actually pretend?
Yes.
Or pretend to actually?
Pretend to actually.
Is there a difference? I don't know. Okay, so the boys have rolled off. They are now going to draw a hand of 5 cards each from the Master Tome. Strangeville Smoke Weed. Oh. Strangeville Smoke Weed is a different kind of trading card game, gang. It is instead of something like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, where you build custom decks. Strangeville Smoke Weed is one predetermined, like pro wrestling. Is a pro wrestling deck.
What?
Made of predetermined cards. Wrestling's fake, bro. Wrestling's fake.
My whole life is a lie.
It ain't a real sport. Sorry if you had money on it. So, the deck is 108 cards out of the package without any of the expansion packs in it. And that's what we're playing with here today. We're playing with the core 108 card starter deck. The expansions are also a set number of cards, so they're not randomized. None of this is random. You can play the game with the core 108 cards. If you put the expansions into it, it expands the game, but it doesn't. There's nothing random about it, is what I'm trying to say. And we play out of, unlike those other card games, we play out of one deck. Both players play out of one deck called the Tome, and they're going to draw 5 cards each off the top of that tome right now. Right now. So this hand that they're drawing is full of weed cards, action cards, and character cards. The character cards are what they're going to use to attack each other, to try to knock each other's weed counts down. And the actions are going to either help or deter those characters' ability to do just that. All right. So in this first hand, it is okay if the players don't like the hand that they drew, if they didn't get enough weed, if they didn't get enough characters, didn't get enough action cards, they can reshuffle into the deck and start over with a whole new hand of 5 cards if they choose to do so. Gentlemen, are we happy with our hand, or do we want to reshuffle?
This is the winning hand. I'm fine with this.
Joel?
Yeah, that doesn't sound good for me.
Okay. Joel's going to reshuffle. He's already feeling the pressure of going second and not being in the game personally. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is he happier with this hand, or you want to do it again?
I'm happier with this.
We can do this up to, I mean, really, honestly, gang, you can do whatever the fuck you want to with these cards, but the official rules, you can reshuffle up to 2 times. If you don't like your hand, you can reshuffle in, redraw. You can do that up to 2 times. So Andrew's happy. Joel's happy. We have our 5 weed out each. Everybody's got the starting hand of 5. Gentlemen, play ball. Okay. All right. I'm in here. Okay, so what Andrew's doing here, he's what we call this sparking his weed. And so what sparking means is he's denoting that the points on the weed cards have been activated this turn. So he's activating 1, 2, 3, 4. He's activating 5 weed points. At the beginning of his next turn, these cards will unspark, and he will get those weed points back. If you're familiar with trading card games, this is a basic mechanic in a trading card game. If you've never done so before, I'm explaining this for all of the weirdos that are crawling out of the sewer for the first time, all those hack minion motherfuckers, my kin close to my heart that live on the streets. I'm just explaining to y'all who've never even owned a television with bunny ears, a black and white TV like I grew up with. So that's what's happening here. So our tome is here. Our weed stash is what we call this, is here. And Andrew has activated all 5 of his weed points for this game, for this turn. And he's playing an action card.
It allows me to search the tome or the nether realm for a +3 weed card or less and put it into play on my side.
That's big. So on turn 1, he's going for a +3 weed card, which is going to give him 8 weed points going into turn 2. That's big time. That's a big, and that the card that he played was Sarsaparilla's Secret Stash, which costs 5 weed points to play and allows him to go into the tome and search for that weed card. And then so action cards, once action cards have been played, they immediately go into what's called the Nether Realm, which is the discard pile. They don't remain in play. So Andrew has pulled out his +3 weed card, and he has shuffled the tome and put it back, and now he can now continue his turn and play even more cards if he so chooses.
I do. Diaper Desperation.
Oh
no.
He can now go into some Diaper Desperation. Allows him to go into the deck, pull out a +1 weed card, and put that into his hand. Now, here's another rule, gang. You can only play one. You can play from your hand. You can only put down onto the table from your hand 1 weed card per turn. It doesn't matter how many points there are on that weed card. It can be a +1, a +2, or a +3. But since he has already played that +3, that +1 goes into his hand. So he can't play that until the next turn. He's reshuffled the deck. That action card now goes into the Nether Realm, and we can continue.
My turn.
I believe so.
Put bong rips. And drop the first character card on.
All right, we saw that card in the introduction. He's bringing Nancy into play. So what these character cards do, they stay in play until they are killed. And their power and toughness is up here in the top right-hand corner. And so Nancy here is a +1, is a 1/2 character. That means she has a power of an attack power of 2 and a defense power, attack power of 1 and a defense power of 2. That allows her to attack for, if she does damage to Andrew, she'll do damage for 1 weed card. She can also defend up to 2 points. If she's hit for 2 points or more, she dies and goes into the Nether Realm. Until then, she stays in play. She also cannot attack on her first turn. She has what's called Weed Sickness, which prevents her from being able to activate her special powers on the card or attack until the following turn from which she was conjured.
And I'm going to follow that up with another move here. I'm going to rob.
Oh,
So that's going to let me steal one of your +1 weed cards. Doesn't matter which one. Send it over.
so we already have a nice sort of spread of activity here just in the first round. We have Andrew throwing a couple of Hail Marys with the action cards, doing a lot of going in and grabbing some weed from the tome. And Joel here has he's stolen some weed. So there's a lot of cards and a lot of characters that allow you to straight up gank the weed from your homie's weed stash. Like a gangster ass motherfucker, like a true G up in this bitch.
Go ahead.
Four, five, six. Got Wingate.
We now have characters faced off. We have a 2/2 character and a 1/2 character faced off. Both suffer from weed sickness. Is actually drawing back up to 5 cards. That's the rule of the game. Is each turn you draw back up to 5 cards. You don't just draw 1 card at the beginning of your turn. You draw back up to 5 cards. It's an important distinction, and it's what really creates a lot of excitement and sense of urgency in Strangeville Smoke Weed, gang. Excitement and a sense of urgency is exactly what you would want in a game designed around the Strangeville universe.
+3. I got the Colombian Smoke Weed.
The Colombian Smoke Weed up in this piece. I got a flash of something you're not going to like.
I got the Weed Bid.
Ooh.
Sarsaparilla the Weed Witch comes into play with how many did she cost? 8?
8.
She's a big so bigger characters cost more. 8 is one of the highest costing characters in the game. Sarsaparilla the Weed Witch, one of the main villains from the Hack Movies universe. What is her special ability, sir?
She can attack and be used as a +3 weed. And if Rocco's in play, I can throw him under the bus to kill one character on the opponent's side.
And what is her power and toughness?
2/4.
She has an attack power of 2 and a defense power of 4. So she's a bit of a toughie. Andrew, what is your response?
I'm gonna need to get something big out here soon.
You are.
That's gonna wreck me if I don't.
It is. Going into, what is this, the top of turn 3? Going into the top of turn 3, and it's looking like the weed master of this game so far is Joel. He's just sitting on a ton of weed over here.
Three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Playing the table of contents.
Ooh. Any card, huh?
Andrew has tapped out his entire weed stash, sparked his entire weed stash to go in and grab any card from the tome and put it into his hand. How about that, gang? That's the power of some of the cards here in Strangeville Smoke Weed. What will he grab? What will he take? Bottom of turn 3. Headed over to Joel, the Weed Master. The man with all the weed. He can basically do anything he wants.
I'm sorry, this just got a whole lot worse for you. So first play here, I'm bringing out Rocco.
Okay, so we have our first character combo, gang. This is exciting. This is a character combo piece. A lot of the characters in this game have partners, and they are based on in straight up hack movies canon. Rocco's little minion, Rocco, can be sacrificed to destroy any character as long as Sarsaparilla is in play, and they are both in play together. So that action can be, or that ability can be activated. Is it at any time? It doesn't say at any time, so he might have to wait on that for a second. But that combo is there. Exciting gameplay game.
Yeah,
Bottom of turn 3.
Follow that up with 3, 5, 6, 7. Foul Max. Wingate's gonna have to cease to exist.
Fallamax is an action card that allows the player to take out his opponent. So suddenly Andrew has become defenseless.
Follow that up with attacks. 3 total.
Andrew now has to, for the first time in the game, he has to discard 3 of his weed cards, which again act as his life points. So he is now strategically at a disadvantage because his ability to conjure characters and actions has become severely handicapped by losing those weed points. What will he do to counter?
And since Sarsaparillas' ability, you can be used for +3 weed even if she attacks. You can go with Cum Bums. It's gonna have to be rape.
Things are looking dire for Andrew here. This may not go longer. This may not go further than bottom of round 4, gang. This might be a short game. Andrew might be getting his, what I like to call, shit pushed in. Or, gang, he might be headed up to Browntown.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to need more cards in these, and there's some of these I might not be able to cast right away, so I'm going to discard before my draw phase.
He's allowed to discard as any number of cards from his hand at the very beginning of his turn, and then redraw up to 5. So that gives the that allows the possibility of a strategic advantage for a player that may be hemorrhaging weed to draw that Colombian smoke ass weed +3 weed card that he so desperately needs to really get back into the game. Did Andrew draw enough weed to keep himself in this game for another turn, gang, or does this spell the end for Andrew? 20-sided Varble. That first turn advantage, that being in the game advantage, may not have been enough. Or was it?
Tap 5. Play the Dress Demons. Had to get a blocker out there. Go ahead.
Bottom of turn 4. Gang, I think this is it.
Oh, I found where all the weed's been hiding.
As if the blows weren't enough.
And I'm gonna sacrifice Rocco, send the Dress Demons back to hell. And then going in.
Wow. The disrespect in my own house, sir.
So, the Cum Bums are a 2/2?
Yep.
Correct.
A 2/4 and a 1/2. So 2, 4, 5 points of damage coming to Andrew's side of the table. He only has 4 weed. The game, gang, is over at the bottom of turn 4, just like that. Andrew's fortunes, unfortunately, on this day, They were poor fortunes, bad fortune. His first turn advantage didn't work in his favor. He even came out aggressively. Andrew, you came out aggressively and went for that weed right away.
I had 3 weed fetching cards in that opening hand of 5, so I really thought that was going to give me a good advantage.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by the turn of events in this game, because Andrew came out with a clear advantage at the beginning. Joel, what were you thinking at the beginning of that game when he sort of came out and showed it, flopped his big old weed dick on the table and showed you just how much weed he was capable of in turn number 1?
I was thinking of all the big scary things in the tome there, like the Colonel or Don Duepe, and I was hoping that he didn't already have those in his hand, because I thought if he's going all out like this, it's coming out next turn, so I got to be ready.
And show the audience what you have there. So Andrew had Satan in his hand, which is one of the biggest, scariest characters in the game. That if he only, if he hadn't have been smacked for that weed early on in turn 3, he might have had enough to conjure Satan and really give Joel some trouble. But Joel, show him what you had. The card I saw in your hand that was really going to give Andrew some problems.
Lots of removal here. Have the Dream Reaper.
Ooh.
Could conjure the Black Mage to block and kill off anything else. And Papa McShango, which would allow me to search Tome for an action card. So really, that's a possibility for 3 different removals there.
Yeah, the Dream Reaper is the card that I saw that he drew, and I was actually shocked that he didn't go for the Dream Reaper earlier, because the Dream Reaper has the ability to spark to remove any character from play instead of attacking. His ability is, instead of attacking, he can remove any character from play this turn. So he's a good one to get out there early and really wreak havoc on your opponent's ability to defend. And Joel actually forewent that ability to... I believe you had him in your hand before you dropped Sarsaparilla, didn't you?
I can't exactly remember, but what I was thinking is I already had some removal with things like Rocco. And the Falomax. So I already figured I should drop her, so in case he has an ability to recover from anything I'm playing, I would have her for the extra weed that I might be getting up over the next couple turns to keep the Omen machine grinding things out.
Well, gang,
I was going to say, to bring people up to speed too, the table of contents, when I searched through, I already had Windgate in play, and I searched for Wolfram. That was going to be one of my next plays.
So Wolfram and Wingate, when they are played together as a pair, they act as the same as the Dream Reaper acts, where in lieu of attacking, they can both be used to remove, not each, but together they can be used to remove a character from play. So that was what Andrew's strategy was going into turn 4, was going to be, was in turn 4 was going to be to drop Wolfram and have his own removal combo and sort of clear up some of these characters that were getting jumbled up over here on Joel's side. A gang, if you will, a gang of thugs that was preparing to come over and raid poor Andrew's weed stash and give Joel the weed supremacy on the streets of Strangeville. Gang, this is Strangeville Smoke Weed, the motherfucking card game. We'll be right here, up in this piece. Strangeville Smoke Weed, the motherfucking card game, coming soon to Indiegogo and coming soon to your grubby, dirty little hand pieces. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For Andrew, 20-sided Varble. For Joel, the playtester. For Webmaster Miko. My name is Kevin, a motherfucking Strange, and we out this bitch-ass piece.